Hello everybody, we got a second video using the Color Burst by Ken Oliver. So I pre-cut out in watercolor the Crazy Birds, or Bird Crazy, stamps from Tim Holtz. And what I'm doing here, which I kind of have to finagle because it didn't work out quite the way I wanted, because I forgot my block, my clear block was actually round and like kind of scalloped, and I was like, oh, well, as long as I place it in kind of the right spot, the Stamp-A-Majig should work. So that's what I'm doing here. Just trying to use something to help guide me in stamping it, so that way it's pretty much, you know, centered. Now on the second one, what I decided to do, I got my Fiskars press to show you that you can also line them up pretty close even with that. So I'm just inking it up again with the VersaFine Onyx. And I stamped it down and it hit, but there was a little spot in the curly hair that no black went. So I just got my Tim Holtz Distress ink marker and filled it in, so that way it would look like he had some hair. So the plan for these are to use the Color Burst for coloring in the birds. So I wanted to show you that you can use it like you would regular watercolor. So I put some onto my mat, and then I just added a little bit of water and I started laying down color. Now when I first sprayed the powder, it was really light, so I just put a little bit more, and you can see how the yellow gets brighter. And I wanted to do a combination where it was like, it's the yellow and then green on top. Sorry about that, I don't know if you can hear my cat or not, but she's yelling at me. And then I'm just taking the green, and it wound up, when I put the green down, it was a much deeper concentration. So the trick on this one, what I did was, I'm using a napkin or a tissue to try and get some of the ink out, and then I decided to take a baby wipe and kind of just wipe some of the color off, so that way it wasn't as strong, and you can see it gives a better blending technique on that particular bird. And then I just needed a little bit more yellow because I wanted to put some on the feet and up in the front and on the nose again. Alright, and then now I think I'm just getting the other one, and I was grabbing the colors that I wanted to use on him. And I think on this one I put down the blue. Oh no, purple. Purple and orange. And what I decided to do with this one was do the entire bird in purple. So, and I'm so sorry, I didn't even realize I was off screen, off camera here. But all I'm doing is filling it in, making sure not to put any around the eyes. Even though if you do get ink on the eyes, these stamps have coordinating die cuts. And on the die cuts, what you could do is always re-stamp them and then just cut out the eyes and the wings, and it would be back to being white. And it would give the picture a little dimension. So with the orange, I use that for the beak and the on both birds. You can see I put some on the yellow and green one right there. And then after I clean off my mat, I'm just going to zoom out here a little bit so you can see the full purple bird. And what I decided to do before starting the video, I took some of the Tim Holtz Distress inks. I think this one is Espresso and the other one is Marine. Oh man, I got it right here. It is Blueprint Sketch. Two of the new colors that came out in 2015. And I wanted to make these cards very similar, just one facing, because each bird's face is a different way. And I cut out with my Cuttlebug this label die, And once I figured out which happy birthday sentiment I wanted to use, I stamped them and added the gifts. Now what I'm gonna show you later what I do to the gifts. They'll be in our still pictures, because after I attached them I realized that it still wasn't enough sparkle for me. So on the blue one I kept it plain with the card opening on the side front, and on the brown one I corner chomped the upper right and the bottom left, so it has a little bit of a different frontal design. Okay, and right now I'm just grabbing some sequins because I knew, of course, I wanted to add the sequins to it. I'm telling you guys, I can't help it. It is a sickness. So, and until my sickness wears off, I will be using sequins. Now, the sequins that I'm using are from Lucy's Cards. And she has it, the particular one on the blue is her bright whites, and the one on the brown I'm using is the champagne. And what I like about her mixtures is really it's good for shaker cards because it has beads and different kinds of pieces in them mixed in with the sequins, but you can still use them on a card as decoration, which is what I did on this one. There was some that were just flat pieces of gold with little circles out of them. I used them. It gives the card sparkle and it gives it interest because it's not just your typical sequins, you know. So, you know, it's good to switch it up every once in a while. So I'm just laying them down, of course, using the multi-medium mat by Ranger. And I have the precision tip on it. I highly suggest you getting it for those. This one, the one that we use for the glossy accents, those are very useful in the fact that they stop them from clogging up and you have no issues. I'm definitely a firm believer in them. So if you've been thinking about it, don't think anymore, just go do it. Okay, so here we are at the end, and you can see I added some stickles to the packages because, you know, you can never have enough sparkle. Thank you guys for joining me today. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them down below, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video, which should be a planner video, so keep an eye out.